What is up, guys? We are live here with Pro Play Games with our second place out of 100 plus players. This was one of the largest online Dragon Ball Super, I guess you can call them online regionals. It's the closest thing we're gonna get to it, guys. Officially supported by Bandai. We had to play through webcam, which is kind of funky. I know, I get it, but it's cool because you actually have to own the cards and things like that. You can't just play on the online platform. So with that, we participated and we took KidKu. This is one of my favorite leaders from back in the day. Set 7 or set 6, I believe. It's been a minute since this deck has come out. People compare it to Burning Abyss. It never goes away. It never dies. Despite all the power creep in the game, this leader from a couple years back or a year back, it has still been relevant, and we were able to take it over some of the most powerful decks in the game. Yes, that includes Vegex. Vegex full 100% power before the nerf. I know, guys, it's crazy, but this deck is the truth, and it's definitely one of my favorites to play. So without further ado, before we get into the deck profile, make sure you guys check out the TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra, shopping from your favorite local game stores or the cheapest local game stores. Just by clicking that link when you start shopping, help out the channel a lot, especially during this time. So if you guys are going to get set 11 or any of the great cards in this deck profile, make sure you use that link to purchase your cards, whether it be from us or somebody else. Anyways, let's get into it. KidKu, of course, it's a colorless leader, so it has the ability, once per turn, you can show a 4-star ball to your opponent, draw a card. So instead of like attacking the draw, it has that way, which is, I guess, worse than attacking the draw, because now you need to see 4 stars, so the deck is very dependent on getting that. And then, but it does also have a permanent that lets you awaken at 6 or less if you do have a skillless card in your drop area. So by having a skillless card in your drop area, you can awaken much earlier and much higher in life than normal decks, which is great because we do play a little bit of self-awakening, and all we got to do is see 1 or 2 if our opponent attacks us. So that's always cool. So on top of showing the ball and drawing a card, you also get a 5k boost. So you'll be a 15k leader at all times, technically, because on the front side you're always attacking for 15 if you show a ball and draw a card, which is the plan. And then on the back side you'll just be 15k normally. So really cool leader on the front side. Obviously it does have that downside of having to see 4-star, but that's the whole point of the deck anyways. And then backside, same exact thing. You show ball to the opponent, and this time, instead of getting a 5k boost, you're gonna trade that off for drawing 2 and discarding 1, which is significantly better. It lets you filter through cards, fill up your drop area, discard those bricks, what we call them, the vanillas that have no effect, the skillless cards. And then on top of that, he'll get a nice little bonus, or any card will get any nice little bonus every time that you combo with a skillless once per turn. So if you combo with a skillless card once per turn, that skillless will get an extra 5k combo power. So that skillless, normally 5k combo power, will go up to 10k. So it's kind of like a little super combo in a way, because you're not really drawing a card, but it's giving you that 10k for one card, which is huge, especially when you're pressuring your opponent or even defending. Remember, this is a once per turn, so this will go offensively or defensively for a lot of value. So when you draw those vanillas down the stretch, you kind of get rewarded in a way. So that's it for the leader. Let's get into the primary deck construction, which we played for KidKu. For KidKu, this is a skillless card. This is our primary skillless card that we go to. It is a 1-drop. Now, the most important part about this card is the actual trait. The trait down here, which you can't really see because of the glare, Son Goku Childhood. That's going to be very important coming down the stretch. And we also play a few cards that fetch specifically 1-cost skillless cards. So this fits in perfectly in the deck. Obviously, it's a Goku with a Goku leader. Enough said. Pretty simple. We play one more skillless though. Unfortunately, there is no other Goku skillless, so we're playing Ganos. This can be any other 1-drop red skillless card. We chose Ganos because this is the most, I think, recent one, and he's pretty cool. He's from Tournament of Power, right? Next 1-drop we played was the Black Massane. I like Black Massane a lot, especially because a lot of these regionals are best of 1s, and this is a card that normally sees a lot of popularity in the sideboard. So being able to main deck it, and as well as giving you another option to self-awaken, so when you're at like 7 life and you want to get down to 6 to be able to awaken because you have a skillless in the drop area and you got that early awaken, Black Massane really helps you get there, as well as being a great counter pick for almost any strategy. strategy. Almost any strategy kind of gets hurt by Dark Power Black Massane, even ours. The next black one drop that we played was the Bonds of Friendship Android 8, and this is primarily the reason why you saw that one drop Kid Goku at the beginning, because whenever a Son Goku childhood, very specific Son Goku childhood, leaves your battle area by you manually comboing with it, or if your opponent decides to get rid of it somehow, then for each one of these Android 8s that you have on the board, you're going to pop one card on the field. So if you have one Android 8 and they get rid of one Goku, or you combo one Goku, you're killing one card. If you have two Android 8s, kill two, etc. So obviously very good. He also does have another auto. You get to look at the top 7 and get a skillless card. So that's pretty cool because he like trades off the advantage that you would normally, you give up one card, you replace it with another card in your hand. And remember, on the back side of here, you can discard that skillless, or you can use it as a combo for extra power if you do feel the need to do so. And then, of course, the most important one drop in the entire deck, of course, you guessed it, Son Goku, The Adventure Begins. And this guy is also a Son Goku childhood, so this is another Goku target. You normally don't want to combo with this guy off board. You normally want to keep this guy on board all the time, so it's kind of, it's kind of weird. That's why you play the other Goku, because you're okay losing that guy. This guy, though, he does everything for your deck. This is hands down the best card, best one drop in the game. I think I can confidently say that. Once per turn, you can search your deck or drop for a 4-star ball. So essentially, every turn, you're going to be, it's just a card advantage engine. You're just getting a card every turn, free of charge. Next effect, once per turn, you can pay 2, and you can play a 30k from your deck, or any skillless card, I believe. Now, the only skillless card that we really want to play with this is something that obviously costs more than 2 energy, right? Like, you don't want to pay 2 energy to play a one-drop Goku from your deck, though you do have the opportunity of doing that. But we'll show you what skillless card we bring out here. We bring out a big meaty guy that's going to be really, really powerful and put a lot of pressure on our opponent. But regardless, this guy's mostly used for getting the ball, and the ball's very powerful, because you'll see right now, not only do you need the 4-star for the front side and the back side of your leader, so you always want to have access to a ball, but the ball also actually plays in very well with the theme of the deck, because it does give your skillless cards additional power. So if you use this 4-star ball in a regular combo, it's 5k boost, which is good because it doesn't really count as a combo. It's an activate battle ability. So if your opponent has cards to mess up with your combo, it doesn't affect the 4-star ball. That's cool. The main part, though, is that you can use this in a combo with a skillless card, and that skillless card will gain an extra 5k. So this 4-star, you can see them as 10k combos when adding them onto skillless attacks. And that's cool because your leader also adds +5 when you use a skillless card in combo. So if you put these 2 cards in combo, that's 20k for 2 cards. That's a lot, especially when you're trying to close out the game. Then, of course, we play, this is from the new anniversary box, Son Goku and Android 8 Bonds of Battle. This guy's really good. Not only does he have his best friend there, Android 8, but he's also a Son Goku childhood name. He has both names. He has Android 8 and Son Goku childhood, so it allows you to, if your opponent gets rid of this or you combo off with it, just like with the Android 8, you'll be able to pop a card. So this guy's extremely good because he has a permanent that allows you to actually combo with him and other skillless cards in rest mode. So you can actually attack with this card and your skillless cards, and then attack with your leader or something else, and then use those cards that you had in rest mode as combo. So it lets you really extend and push for damage really fast. But one of my favorite abilities is that if your leader is this leader, you can actually take a life. That's optional. You can take the life or not. Regardless, you will be able to play 2 1-drops from your deck or drop area. So that's really good because it thins your deck, and it does allow you to put pressure on your opponent, and more importantly, get the access to that Goku, that 1-drop Goku that you really want to see on board sooner rather than later. Because remember, you could boost them up with a 4-star and any of the combos, or you can use them to, combo off and pop your opponent's board as removal. Next card, Anniversary Box Special as well, and these are the two cards that really brought this deck back into the limelight. It's the Son Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. Saiyan Scions, and this card, hands down, was my favorite card during the entirety of the tournament. It has 3 different abilities, so it's very flexible. It also has an X cost with no specific energy requirement, so you can play this for 1 energy, you can play it for 2, you can play it for 3, you can play it for 4. I've played it for 3 a few times, and I used a -2 to shuffle back 2 skillless into the deck and draw a card and draw 2 cards. You can also just play it for 1 and sack it off immediately for the -1 and play another copy if you really like. The -1 allows you to play 2 skillless from the deck or drop, so similar to the Android 8 and Kid Goku that we just saw. And then it also has a +1, which is a little bit better when you're kind of out of steam with those 1-drops and you have them all on board. What happens then, right? You can +1 him, he can get +5k, and all your other skillless cards will get +5k. So if you got 2 or 3 of those already on board, no worries that they're 10ks. Now they're up to 5ks. They're pressuring your opponent's life, and you're being able to really close out a game. So that's really good. I put him in like the 2-drop spot because I normally play this card for 2 energy, just so I can -1 and not kill him. -1 and not kill him. Next card we play in the 2-drop spot is Toppo. I know it costs 4, but on your opponent's turn, you can counterattack for 2, and you do have to discard a card when doing that, but for the rest of the turn, your opponent cannot attack without discarding 2 cards. So this is a great way of stopping your opponent's turn and then bringing back that momentum and tempo and aggression on your turn. So Toppo, I think, a staple in almost any red deck. I think we could all agree on that. Next, in the 3-drop spot, we only play 2 3-drops, guys. This whole deck is 1-drops and 2-drops. That's how amazing this deck is. It's very energy efficient. You can play a lot of things in a lot of turns. Remember, when you start getting 4 or 5 energy, you can start doing a lot of stuff. So this Ox King, funny enough, it is a 3-drop skillless vanilla, but the main selling point is, remember that KidKu we were talking about at the beginning? You can play this guy from your deck or drop for 2 energy. So you're kind of saving that 1 energy, and he's a 30k body. That is ridiculously huge. And don't forget that you can add additional combo with your leader and the 4-star balls and all that good stuff. So we only play 2 copies of this because that's like not really our main play. It's kind of like if we don't have anything else to do with our energy, we'll do that. But regardless, Ox King is a beast, you know, definitely when he comes out and starts putting the hurting on your opponent's life. Then for the super combos, we actually chose Temporal Rescue Trunks. Now this can be the super combo that requires you to be at 4 or less life, though remember, because you can awaken at 4 or more life, essentially, you can awaken at 6 life. If your opponent does not attack you down below or at 4 or below, then your super combo is dead if you're playing a super combo that's 4 or less life. The Temporal Rescue Trunks, because you're not playing any Overwhelm except for 1 card, we'll keep secret till the end. This card is normally always live because you always have at least 5 cards in the drop area, because remember, a lot of your cards are bringing out these really cheap cards and your opponent's killing them, and you know the deck can, you know, build up a lot of card advantage, and in that way you want to start using your cards and you'll get those 5 cards in the drop area. So Temporal Rescue Trunks will be able to let you draw a card without being at 4 or less life, which is the main, you know, benefit there. Then of course, what's a red deck without Furthering Destruction? Champa. Almost every deck that's not even red plays this card, because this instantaneously can take you from 1 damage to 2 damage on a big lethal attack. And remember, there's a lot of way that we can get to a big combo without sacrificing a lot of cards because of our leader and 4-star balls and things like that. Remember, you do need to play the cards like 4-star ball that only work on skillless before you actually activate the Champa, because Champa will make your skillless card into now a card that is no longer skillless because it gains a special ability in Double Strike. So keep that in mind when using Furthering Destruction Champa, though it is great and it is red, it's in theme, it's in color, so we can use it as energy if we feel like it's not necessary. And of course, look at that beautiful level 2 Judge Foiling. Speaking of Judge Foils, we got 4 Powerburst, and God, I love this card. This is one of the best cards I think ever designed. This allows you to negate without needing the energy to negate, because all you need is 5 cards in your drop area. You can take a life instead, and when you play this counter attack, it not only does it stop the attack, but it gets you back a 1-drop black card from your drop or warp. So that's very important. Remember, in this deck, our whole deck is very, very reliant on the Son Goku Adventure Begins. And what's that? A 1-drop black card. So Powerburst, yes, can get back our Kid Goku, and that's why we love this card so much. When our opponent feels like they have nothing else to worry about because they got rid of our Kid Goku, all they need to do is attack with any battle card, and we can power burst that card back to our hand and continue the advantage engine. So next extra card that we play is Universe 4 Assemble, and this card is not 100% necessary in this version. I know there's other versions that you're really concentrated on this, but this card, we only play it in 2 because it is nice to trade 1 card for 2. This card can also fetch your skillless cards from your warp. For 1 energy, you can choose up to 2 skillless battle cards with 10k power from your drop area and or warp and play them. So for 1 energy, bringing out 2 cards, not too bad. I mean, sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's kind of dead because it's too early, but remember, it's red, so it's actually perfect. We can use this energy if it's too early, or late in the game, it could be a really clutch card to put extra advantage on our opponent. Next, we played Planet M2, and this is a field spell card, and you normally don't see a lot of decks play field spells. And this field spell is unique because it comes down for 1, so it's super cheap. It also has an activate battle. You can tap this card to give any card on the field minus 5k. So you can do it to your opponent's battle cards, but more importantly, you can do it to your opponent's leader. And Planet M2 is good because it also clears a lot of problematic cards like that Black Dark Massane that we play at the beginning, the 1-drop. It can get rid of that. It can obviously get rid of our Kid Goku also. So if we were in the mirror match, this can definitely give us an edge. But it's just an overall great card against Vegex. You get rid of all their 5k blockers and trunks, or you can get rid of their Supreme Kais of Times that are just sitting there and waiting to be comboed off for 10. It's just a great overall card. It's so great. Next card we played was one of our showstoppers. These are the cards that are really gonna get us the game because of their power level. This guy's power level is obviously incredible, 30k power, and the way that we bring this guy out is normally with a Toppo or like with a skillless card that we boost up to over 25k power, because this guy can only be played by sending, well, I guess you can pay the 5 energy, but we play no yellow, so the only way that we can really play this in our deck is by having a red battle card with 25k or higher attack. How do we do that, right? Well, very cool, because we are playing primarily red battle cards like Toppo and Ox King and the skillless cards. All those cards can technically be boosted to 25k permanently for the turn by the activation of 4-star ball. 4-star ball is not a combo card. It's more like an activate battle, and it'll boost your card until the end of the turn, so, or the end of the battle. So you can actually adjust the attack of that battle card, and then in that same sequence activate an awaken on your leader, and then send that card that's in the middle of combo to the drop, so you can bring out something really powerful like this. And being able to have offering is just something super incredible. Your opponent has the choice of critting them down, critting them their lives by 1, or by giving you the option of drawing 2, so you can add to your card advantage. And then on top of that, this card still comes into the battlefield no matter what effect they choose, and it's a 30k triple striker. So this can easily output a lot of damage, especially on top of the Champas and a lot of these powerful skillless cards that at the beginning of the game they won't stop, so they get down really fast. This is a great card to kind of just like end the game out of nowhere, especially very early when your opponent doesn't have the resources or doesn't keep up the energy to negate such a powerful attack like this. So he's definitely a great way to end the game. And then of course, the main showstopper, the main boss, this secret rare, this is the one that we were talking about. This has a Dark Overrealm. So Dark Overrealm is essentially the same as Overrealm, though it stays on the board. It doesn't go away at the end of the turn. Dark Overrealm also refers to needing X amount of black battle card or black cards as part of the Overrealm. So you actually need to have 7 minimum black cards as part of that Overrealm. You do need to pay the 5 energy as well, as you can see with the cost next to that. And it's an ultimate, meaning it's a secret rare. That means we could only play 1 copy and we can't play any other ultimates. And then when this card attacks, your opponent shows you your hand. You get to pick 4 battle cards and put them into this card's combo. So this guy becomes an almost unblockable attack. If your opponent does not have a negate for this guy, they're gonna take 3 damage, almost guaranteed, because not only does he have 40,000 base attack, but you have to add the combo from the cards that you ripped from your opponent, which, by the way, they don't get back. They don't get those cards back. They're gone. So all your opponent's secret rares or anything, any bombs or any, like, you know, cards that they were gonna use to close out the game that are not, you know, that are not extra cards, all those battle cards are gone, and you get to choose them. So you get all that information, and on top of that, even if they negate, all those cards are gone. You still combo with them, you still send them to the drop area. So it's not like if they negate, you don't get that combo, you still get those cards because it's part of his auto. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is the deck that we took to an undefeated, technically, record. We went 6 wins, 0 losses, 1 draw against Invoker. That was a really drawn out match. Unfortunately, it looks like we were going to get that match, I think, if it went another 1 or 2 turns, but unfortunately time was called and we weren't able to play it out. And I believe Sun Gohan got first, and we didn't play against him, unfortunately. But regardless, it was a great tournament, super fun. Make sure you guys join in on the fun. The next online Premier event is going to be hosted by us here at Pro Play Games, and you can live anywhere really in the world, I think, to go ahead and enter. But if you need more details, make sure you guys check it out in the description down below. We'll be posting the link once the registration opens up for you guys. With that, that is the deck profile. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see the full Patreon exclusive video, make sure you guys check it out as well on our Patreon. That one goes a little bit more in depth about the matchups, tournament report, and more things to make this a little bit more competitive if you wanted more information. Thank you guys again for watching. Till next time.